What is going on, guys? As always, the great one, and I have a question. What the fuck is happening with WWE? The main reason I'm doing this video is because I was originally trying to do SmackDown Live review, but I watched SmackDown Live and it was so terrible, so disgusting, so boring. I couldn't make myself sit right here and talk about this fucking garbage. I really couldn't, so I decided to just make another video and address the issues. What the fuck is going on? I've seen it from people on Twitter, I'm seeing it from you guys, I've seen it from wrestling YouTubers. Most of them say that wrestling, or especially WWE, is just not the same. There's something really wrong. A lot of people don't even watch Raw and SmackDown anymore, and they are WWE YouTubers. I do watch it, but I skip most of it. I can't make myself sit through a fucking Jey Uso versus Chad Gable match, or a terrible storyline with Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, AJ Styles, Cammy. I don't get this shit. It's just so terrible, and the biggest reason why it sucks, it's not going anywhere. It started pretty okay. We have this, speculation whether Daniel Bryan is actually going to do something. Who is a heel, Daniel or Shane? And then week after week, and there's nothing. If you missed all of that rivalry, you pretty much missed, you missed nothing. Yes, that's the point. It seems like Raw and SmackDown is not must-watch TV anymore, and what makes me really angry is that it's not even that hard to make it a must-watch TV. For fuck's sakes, announce a title match. WWE Championship will be defended. WWE Championship tournament. Something like that. Like, it's not even that hard, and they're just... Let's talk about Raw. The main championship is on a guy who appears once, twice a month, is not defending the title at every pay-per-view, so what's the point? The main championship is not even on the show. And that's not even the worst part. We already know the main event of WrestleMania. We already know who's facing Brock Lesnar. We already know who's winning the title. Like, what's the point? I don't get it. It kinda sucks when we're making predictions videos, when we're making any type of WWE video, and we have to acknowledge the fact that it's going to suck either way, so we're just going to have to deal with it, It sucks. The last time WWE did something really, really amazing was WrestleMania 30. They actually listened somehow, and it was one of the greatest WrestleManias ever. I think WrestleMania 30 is actually my favorite. Fans at WrestleMania were cheering, people at home were cheering. It was great. That's the feeling I want after WrestleMania. And nowadays, for the past 4 years, or 3 years, whatever the case may be, we just have to deal with a decent show, but at the end of it, we just feel disgusted because we see a terrible main event with terrible crowd, because you cannot blame them. Fuck's sakes, we're having Roman Reigns main eventing WrestleMania against fucking Triple H. Like, how terrible that was. I think after 2014, WWE kinda started to go down. Not to say that there are no great moments, AJ Styles winning the championship, but these happen very rarely. WWE nowadays reminds me of the 80s. When you see these documentaries of Kevin Nash, Diesel winning the championship and nobody gives a shit. That's pretty much what's happening in the WWE right now. I also hate the fact about current days WWE, or maybe it was all the time, I don't know. A guy like Dolph Ziggler, gets over. A guy like Daniel Bryan gets over. Wherever the case may be. Instead of focusing on actually pushing the guy, because he's already over. Like, I think the main WWE's focus when it comes to superstars should be making another star. And if that guy gets over by himself, thanks to the fans and his talent, half of your work is already done. All you need to do is put that guy on television. But no, that's not what they do. If it's not their product, if it's not someone that they chose, that guy is pretty much fucked no matter how over he is with the fans. Look at Zack Ryder. He was so over with the fans, and WWE purposely killed his push. I think superstars like Kurt Hawkins even said that it killed motivation backstage, because they already knew if you're not chosen by the WWE, you're going nowhere. Even the small things, like look at Monday Night Raw right now. Who's the most entertaining guy? Strowman and The Miz. For how much time The Miz has been entertaining, like this much? Since 2016 on SmackDown Live. Now logically, he should be WWE or Universal Champion by now. Like, how over he is unbelievable. However, you gotta keep that championship on Brock Lesnar, even though nobody gives a shit. Remember 2016 SmackDown Live? I think that got me really, really excited about WWE again. I was kinda, on and off, but it was like SmackDown Live made it seem real. It reminded me of 1996 WCW a bit, where it's fake, but they have these kind of shots fired during the promos. They say the bitch word. They make you go wow. The Miz saying something to Renee Young that offends her. John Cena's and the Miz's promos, Dolph Ziggler's and the Miz's promos, Ambrose's and Ziggler's. These were the gold. That was my favorite SmackDown. I think one of my favorite SmackDowns of all time, like 2016, right after brand split started, and a month later, something like that. However, enter Superstar Shakeup, where they pretty much ruined it. Superstars that should be on SmackDown went to Raw, so they're lost in shuffle. You crown Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion without any belt. You have worst rivalries with him. You have cringy promos, and that killed SmackDown. Even right now, SmackDown hasn't recovered. Even with AJ Styles as WWE Champion, it feels boring. I don't know, they're not doing anything special. The recent example of guy actually getting over and not being pushed is, I think, Finn Balor. Like, WWE Universe just loves him. I'm not the biggest fan of Finn Balor, but if fans love it, they know. This is just my personal preference. But if 80% of the crowd is actually into him, that means he's doing something right. That means he's great. So instead of that, you hear fucking rumors that Vince McMahon feels like he's bland. He feels like he's not over with the crowd. When all you see while watching Raw is people putting their hands up, So my question today is, WWE actually kinda dying? Or is it us getting tired of it? I'm not quite sure, but I've seen so many people. I've never seen so many people tuning out of WWE. I like Roman Reigns, but admit it or not, it doesn't even matter at this point. His push is kind of one of the reasons why WWE sucks right now. I mean, we already know every result. We all know what's going to happen. We can't even expect any surprises. A lot of people blame the brand split because of that, WWE being boring. I don't think so. The brand split, if anything, should make it even more entertaining. You have two great shows, two creative teams. Raw versus SmackDown rivalries, interferences, it should be much, much better. We should have this feeling of ratings, wars, something like that, but they're not doing any of that. And some of you would say, well, John Cena was pushed so much, it's kind of the same as Roman Reigns. But here's the thing, I always said that, I think I mentioned it a couple of times already. When John Cena was on the top, like when he was pushed down our throats, we had CM Punk, we had our guy versus their guy. CM Punk was liked by the fans who wanted something a bit more edgy, something a bit more real, because he was telling the truth. He was telling shit about the product, and we can relate to that, right? Daniel Bryan is also, we can relate to that, but in different way, which is also very, very cool, because he was a regular guy. So we had CM Punk, our guy, versus little kids guy, women's guy, who liked the big hero, Superman type of stuff, John Cena. So while John Cena was thriving with the WWE Championship, even though he won a lot, I still felt the passion. I was so angry, but at the end of the day, I was hoping for that change, because it was still possible. We seen CM Punk as WWE Champion. For some reason, John Cena's push was still entertaining. Roman Reigns' push is not, and here's the reason. I think one of the reasons. WWE allowed CM Punk to go against John Cena. You know the reason why AJ Styles is not on Monday Night Raw? It's because they don't want him to overshadow Roman Reigns' push, because people will cheer AJ Styles instead of Roman Reigns. They don't want that. I'm pretty fucking sure this is the reason. I'm happy AJ's on SmackDown, he should stay on SmackDown, but it kinda pisses me off that is the reason. They will not allow another huge babyface that is loved by the WWE to be on Raw. The whole WWE is surrounded by this guy. And I thought like, okay, I'm nearly 19 years old, maybe I'm just not into wrestling anymore, but I watched New Japan Pro Wrestling, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, and holy shit, I already watched that match 3 times because how good it was. It was edgy, it was more of an Attitude Era-ish. There wasn't any sugar-coating bullshit. When you can already tell 3 months of television, of Raw and SmackDown, You know you're doing something wrong, right? We already know Brock Lesnar is going to face Roman Reigns. We already know that Roman Reigns either winning Royal Rumble or winning at Elimination Chamber #1 contenders match. We all know he's going to win the Universal Championship for the first time at WrestleMania in the main event. So, is there anything I can wait for? Is there anything I should be excited for? And hopefully WWE proves me wrong. I don't know. This is a bit of a rant. I'll continue watching WWE. Not only it's my job to make videos about wrestling, I still have hope. But more and more fans are actually tuning out of WWE, and I hope this doesn't continue. They need to do something. Anyways guys, thank you for watching this video. All I want is for you actually leave a comment. What do you think about it? What do you think about WWE in 2018 and 17? Do you think it will get better? What do you think is the biggest problem? And let me know, did your passion for WWE, for wrestling, actually changed? You know? Because I've seen a lot of people telling that it did. The great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.